What is up, fellow internet memerinos? I'm Terrainu, come back again on the first episode of my new series, Terrain Talks. Hooray. These ones won't be edited, like, almost at all, if that. I might add music, but I don't know, that's just the decision I'm gonna make while I'm editing this. But yeah, these are pretty much going to be like podcasts, but it's just me because I'm alone and lonely, and somebody please help me. But I'm sick, so this is this might be interrupted with some fervor and coughing here and there, but it'll be generally fine. But yeah, I just wanted to create this first episode of Trade and Talks to obviously be about the backrooms and the liminal spaces. But before I begin that, I'd like to pretty much overview what this is going to be like, and also some things on the channel. So yeah, first things first, this series is just going to be something like you can like put in the background as you're doing other things, just to have like a listen to while you're doing homework or something, or you can just look into the void of my very simple logo if you really want to do that. But yeah, other things on the channel. I don't know if, because I'm looking at the analytics for the views of my YouTube videos, which are going up like exponentially fast, which is great, but the views and downloads count on my game on itch.io are not moving like at all. So I just wanted to clarify, the game is out now. It's not updated yet. I'm currently working on the big update that's gonna add a whole bunch of stuff and make it like a lot better than it currently is, but it's still out now. Alright. So I mean, if you want to wait, I mean, like I said, that's cool. But I just want to let y'all know that it has released. I've been putting the link in the description. But anyway, enough about like the channel and everything. Let's get into the main topic. So, what are liminal spaces? Since that kind of ties into the backrooms as well. Well, I mean, like the definition. Let me just look at the definition of liminal space real quick. Yeah, so let's see. A liminal space is a space between spaces. A liminal space is a boundary between 2 points in time, space, or both. It's the middle ground between two grounds, the mid-structure between two structures. Okay, that's, so that definition's, like, the most, it's like more convoluting than, like, okay, I'm trying to think of an example here, but I cannot. But yeah, it's convoluted, the definition, which is why I tend to define liminal spaces as pretty much anything that gives you, like, that feels familiar yet uncannily alien simultaneously. Something that is both warm and inviting, yet cold and uncaring all at once. And that's where I want to enter with the backrooms. I probably don't need to, if you're on this channel, I probably don't need to like explain to you the history of the backrooms and everything. I just wanted to like give my take on how I found it, because I found the backrooms like mid-2020 with like a video narrated by some Indian guy explaining the first 3 levels of the backrooms, because those were really the only ones that truly existed at that time. And I loved the concept, I loved the idea, and I loved the vibe it gave me. It was unknown, it was uncanny, and it was uncertain. Yet part of me, when I looked at the images of the backrooms, felt that it was strangely familiar, and despite everything else. And that's kind of how it grabbed my attention. It made me feel 2 contradictory things at the same time. And that vibe has kind of persisted as it went on. Like as I saw the backrooms community grow on the wiki.page, page, which is the main thing I followed. I know there's the fandom page and everything else, but yeah, it was decently good. It was getting a lot of traction. There was like lack of quality control, obviously, within communities emerging. That's just kind of something that happens. But it was growing was the thing, and the level concepts were keeping interesting. Were getting interesting. Like with level 5 having different areas and more entities being introduced, which, like, some people say, like, the entities of the Backrooms kind of take away from what the Backrooms is supposed to be, which is the feeling of isolation and loneliness, but I feel like they don't. I feel like if you use the entities right and don't, like, put them around every corner, then they can become part of the Backrooms themselves, if you get what I'm saying. There's this thing I've been seeing with Backrooms games recently, which is we're focusing less on, like, the Backrooms themselves and more on the entities and specific, like, mechanics and weirdness of the Backrooms. I feel like a lot of that's because of Kane Pixels. Because, like, I like Kane Pixels' content. I like his videos, and I watched his first video. I was like, holy crap, that is extremely well done for somebody who is only a bit older than me. Like, top tier stuff. And, like, Kane Pixels was the one who introduced a lot of people to the Backrooms. But that's the problem, because Kane Pixels deviated from a lot of what made the Backrooms, like... Well, he didn't deviate. He didn't. He introduced his own, like, lore into the Backrooms, which is what you're supposed to do, because the thing was with the Wikidot page and the fandom page is everyone was trying to give their own take of what the Backrooms should be, and that was what made it interesting. It was a collaborative project in a community. It took everyone's ideas of what the Backrooms should be, and it combined them into one pretty much megalore, and the megalore shifted over time, and so the canon was morphing constantly, and you had to kind of keep up with it, and new levels were being introduced, like, weekly, and it was interesting time. It was good because of how much everything was changing so frequently. You couldn't really know something for too long, and that was, I guess, the exciting part. But then there were a whole bunch of people, like, late 2020, early 2021, who started trying to solidify the Backrooms lore to one thing, and while having a solid lore is not necessarily a bad thing, it took away some of the charm, in my opinion. Because, like, I just want to touch on this one guy called Mr. Ferrante, who used to make Backrooms videos, and I watched him pretty much, like, I found his channel, I binge watched all of his videos pretty much that same day. I was, like, a huge Ferrante fan for, like, that week, and, like, he became a pretty big part of the community, because he was the biggest Backrooms YouTuber, like, at the time, in, like, late 2020, mid 2020, and he was... And I think it went to his head a bit, because he became a little arrogant and called himself, like, the best Backrooms YouTuber ever, which, honestly, at the time, that was completely true, but... like, once, like, late 2020, early 2021, the admins and a few writers became prominent on the Backrooms wiki, and they started to rewrite some articles, like, that were dear to the fanbase. Like, level 0 got rewritten, level 1 got rewritten, level 2, pretty much every level got rewritten sometime in early 2021, late 2022. That was, like, main to the canon, and everyone was huffing and hooting about that, including Mr. Ferrante, who decided to branch off of the Backrooms Wikidot page and make his own little archives. And while all these major prominent figures of the community were bickering back and forth, it kind of made me wonder, because I've never really been that actively involved in the community. I've just been kind of, like, watching it happen, like somebody looking into a fish tank while the fish are constantly trying to kill each other and friggin' take each other's freaking guts out. And I'm just thinking, why? The Backrooms community is not about solidifying one contiguous lore. It's not about having anything that is set in stone. It's not about promoting one person's idea of what the Backrooms should be. It's about creating a community centered around this abstract concept. Because that's all the internet is. And I don't think it's talked about regularly. The internet is nothing physical, it's nothing tangible. The internet is made up of ideas, and I think the Backrooms is what, oh gosh. And I think the Backrooms is what, embodies that. Because it is literally an abstract concept. You are outside of reality when you enter the Backrooms. It can be literally anything. The setting for the Backrooms can be anything, literally. It follows a specific rule set of being a liminal space. That is the one thing you must have for it to be like a backroom setting. And I think that by giving it even more defined rules and stuff, you're taking away from the Backrooms used to be something unknown, something abstract, because Backrooms wasn't a thing, it was an idea. It was an idea that was being worked on by a community and a group of people who cared about the idea and wanted to watch it grow. But now it's pretty much being run by major community leaders, and I'm going to dive into King Pixels a bit, because, like I said, I like King Pixels content, but I think some of the people he introduced into the Backrooms wiki were people who didn't know about the Backrooms until the found footage video he made, and they're just like, wow. I saw the comment the other day on the Backrooms related video. It was from like 2020, and like one of the guys in the comment section was like, wow, you were so ahead of the train. You really got there before King Pixels invented the Backrooms. And I'm like, wow, this man really thinks that King Pixels is the one who invented the Backrooms. And it really kind of set in stone to me the fact that the people who've stuck around the Backrooms for the longest are probably now a minority in their own community, because all of them either up and left during the chaos of like early 2021, or like they're just like distant from the Backrooms now because they've gotten over it because the community stagnated. And while I like King Pixels for reinvigorating the community, it feels like everyone's just trying to go by his style now, which is more sci-fi than like psychological horror, because that's what the Backrooms is. It's not supposed to be some high-tech sci-fi like, ooh, look at all this weird stuff that science caused. No, it's not supposed to be something that is explainable. It's not supposed to be like the SCP wiki, which is ironic because as somebody who was there for the early days, the Backrooms wiki.domain was literally the SCP wiki.domain, just changed. Like, you log in and you see, why does it say the SCP Foundation level 0? I always thought that was funny, but I'm glad they got that changed. But, yeah. I feel like they're trying to copy like SCP and stuff way too much now. And I guess now now it's too much sci-fi than psychological horror, and that's the thing with the Backrooms. It's not supposed to be something you're supposed to figure out. It's something that's supposed to be abstract. It's an abstraction in and of itself. The Backrooms is not a tangible thing, because it's an idea that originated from a place where only ideas can exist. The internet. And 4chan. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is people are trying to explain something that is unexplainable. It's the constant strive to try and attribute something to the unattributable by everyone in the community that made the Backrooms itself. No one level was made by each individual level was made by a different person, a different creator in the Backrooms wiki. that is what made it great. Because when you scroll through each level, there'd be a different writing style, a different direction they want to take the level, a different. And that's what made the Backrooms feel truly ambiguous as to what it was, because it was a it was a chaotic mess, but it still had the tangible thing everyone was working towards, and that was, in of itself, the strange feeling you get. And if you like liminal spaces, you know the strange feeling whenever you look at the liminal space compilations on YouTube, and truly just turn off your brain and look at them, and take in everything you feel when you look at the image. Because it's unlike any other feeling you really get. It's like, it's hard to explain this for me because I haven't really put a name on it even. I just usually call it the liminal space feeling, because it's you feel nostalgic, yet you feel scared at the same time because you are uncertain. The pictures are an uncertainty in itself. You cannot see where the doors lead. You merely know that they're there. There's usually darkness in these pictures because you do not know what lies beyond the darkness. You're simply there and in that one space, feeling nostalgic amidst a sea of nothingness. And that's what the Backrooms is about. Because there are a lot of levels in the Backrooms, and a lot of moments in the Backrooms, because the Backrooms itself is not some hostile entity trying to track you down and kill you. It's even worse. The Backrooms is the existential dread of being terribly alone and lost in a world that does not care about you. You are terribly alone in this massive, empty void in a world that simply would not care whether you live or die or go insane in its massive architecture and geography. And, however, there are a few moments, a few rooms, a few levels that remind you of home, that remind you of happier times, like level 18, which is just a level where it reminds you of something nostalgic, like your childhood bedroom or something, or certain encounters with certain levels. But the main thing is, the Backrooms is an allogram for life. Life is mostly uncaring towards you. It is not going to care whether you succeed or whether you fail. But there are certain moments that are truly worth living because of how happy and the true euphoria you feel and how connected you feel to life at that very moment. So anyway, this has been my TED Talk. Now subscribe, idiots.